Hey guys, it's Mathel here once again with the follow-up video on my what is essentially first summoner. Yes, I did potentially kind of make a Guardian Herald of Purity summoner when that stuff first came out, but it wasn't a real summoner. The minions hardly did anything. I was doing most of the work, and ultimately not a great character compared to this, which is just fucking stupid. Here is the Minion Instability summon skeletons with just a whole bunch of other random minions. You got your zombies, your specters, your carrion golem, and I'm not really focusing on any of that, but incidentally you will have those minions and they will do a lot of work for you, mostly in the tanking category, but they do also help clear and exist as friends as well. So the Minion Instability itself is dealing ridiculous amounts of damage at this point. I think I'm up to roughly 500k a hit off of each skeleton. You're summoning 4 skeletons at a time, and Vile Summon Skeletons, the true hero of this entire setup for a lot of boss fights, just shits on everything. When you first pop Vile Summon Skeletons, there will be like one tankier skeleton, kind of like the general of it, and every time you pop that guy, when he spawns first, when he hits a guardian and explodes, it takes off about half of their life. It's absolutely mad damage, and it's not really too hard to get this type of damage. By the end of the video you will see an Uber Elder, a few Guardians, and all of that was on a level 19 gem. I did end up buying a level 21 gem because I couldn't get my own. I was trying to run temples for the double corrupt room. Never got a double corrupt room, so I couldn't get a level 21 gem, but as you can see and will see, a level 19 gem gets you all the way through the game, and then ultimately a level 20 is even better. So the setup is about as good as it can be. The most expensive things will just be trying to get a 6 link, which isn't too bad as far as the actual item itself. It's just a +1 socketed shaper chest, but it's not really anything besides that. The base itself was something like 15c, then try and 6 link it, so that's pretty much the most expensive item, and then an Elder Bone Helmet, which you'll have to get through divination cards, which were about 25c a piece, up to about 100c for all 4 cards, and then you have to roll it to ideally get minion damage and minion life, which helps out your damage and then lets you actually put your zombies in for a 6 link, but it's not super important if they get 6 linked. They're not doing much damage anyway. And just real quick, I did come across my first synthesis map from Zana. Zana has a chance to give you a synthesis map, which looks like absolute cancer, as you can see, like one of these. It was a pretty slow clear because the monsters are insane and I can't let any of them touch me. And then I wasn't too sure how the boss fight would go because I haven't really taken on this content in months, and also not too sure how my summoner was going to go. Let's just say Vile Summon Skellies does a lot of work on this type of stuff, and even if you don't have Vile Summon Skellies available, it crushes any other boss just by summoning skeletons the regular way, so that's all good too. First map I've seen of one of these, they seem to be kinda rare, but plenty of people have seen them, so you know, they're doable. They exist, but they are a little bit rare, I would say. And then after that, the rest of the content I did was more or less a joke. Just run in, press your Vile Summons. Versus the Elder Guardians, you need like 1 or 2 casts of skeletons to kill all the shit. And after about level 80, I was mostly just focusing on getting some survivability into the build, because as you can see, not a huge amount of life. So I ended up with about 4,500 life, and then spec'd a bunch of stuff into mana. You'll be able to see on my current revised passive tree, I've got a few mana nodes here or there, so that I could get mind over matter into the build, and dropped clarity in the end as well, and started running a mana flask. So, or didn't drop clarity, I was just using a level 1. And then used a mana flask, which has the mod does not remove at full mana, and then I had mind over matter, and it did make me a good bit tankier. Still a bit squishy ultimately, even though you got about 20% damage reduction through the Necro Ascendancy, still a bit squishy, and you don't really want to be taking too many hits, so you can play a little bit more defensively against certain bosses and certain encounters. For the most part though, your minions do take all the damage that need be taken, and I don't know, this is basically a wrap for the summoner character. As far as the summoner is concerned, it was pretty fun. It's not something I really want to do again, I don't think, because I don't know, not really my cup of tea having to care about all the summons. It's a bit face roll. It's a bit just too easy, I think, right now. And the only particularly fun part for me was dropping huge minion instability nukes on other enemies. And then the Vile Summon Skellies. So that's the character. Check out the POB if you want to see the changes. It's pretty good, pretty strong on a budget. Summoners, I think you can't really go wrong this league. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Is everything dying? My minions are alive by the looks of it so far. I guess I have to pay attention to where Shape is throwing his balls, because it might target me sometimes, right? Deeps is pretty solid. Perfect timing on portal and stuff. All minions still alive? Yep, nice. Let Squid get his fucking attack off. And I just took a hit. Yee. Everything's still alive? We have portal phase, or what's happening? We are. Okay, good. I'm gonna occasionally throw corpses down too, because it's irrelevant to my interests for damage and damage reduction. Haven't been doing that though, pressing my flesh offering yet. Vile Summon, and run around in circles. That's about as easy as a kill could ever fucking be, honestly. Got lots of minions. None of them died. Wait, no. Carrion Golem died. Rip. Good damage. Good on-demand damage. Good survivability. Press T whenever I need to. Didn't really press it. Didn't really need to. Lost 2 zombies. Did I start out with 8? Maybe. Weird. Weird that 2 would die.